What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto Naruto Next Generations discussion. And today, I wanted to talk to you guys about the elephant in the room, which is our boy Sasuke's future. Over the last 16 months, we've seen a rising number of red flags that are either going to conclude with our boy Sasuke joining Itachi in the afterlife, or it's been a red herring the entire time to make us think that he's going to die, only to reveal that our boy Sasuke is going to retire with gray hair, looking at Sakura's grave. Now that we've hit that point in the story where Sasuke has multiple concerns as Shadow Hokage that are splitting off his attention, we need to start a serious conversation on the potential roads that Sasuke can take from here on out, because he's walking on very thin ice right now, and I don't think fans realize how very closely Sasuke's situation mirrors Jiraiya. I think to say Sasuke fans have been mentally preparing themselves for this day where his close calls with death and his luck runs out is an absolute understatement. As far back as 2016, when Boruto Chapter 1 dropped, a lot of people began wondering, why did Sasuke's sword and cloak appear to be in Boruto's possession? Something that the 2017 anime production sheet went on to confirm was the case, and people were asking, why was Konoha destroyed and where was Sasuke during all of this? Boruto having his headband, that was one thing. We'd all been fresh off of seeing Boruto the movie, and for the most part remember Sasuke giving Boruto his headband. So there was no real shock there, but everything else made fans apprehensive for the future. Since then, we've seen him left near death, fall in the battle with Jigen, only managing to escape because Naruto managed to buy Sasuke a few extra moments of time so he could escape. Ishiki dogged Sasuke out worse than Mitsuki's character development in the manga, and then we had the famous Momoshiki fight right afterwards where Sasuke's rinnegan was destroyed. While he was very fatigued, he did manage to pressure Momoshiki, and the fact that he could barely keep his Sharingan activated wasn't something missed by Momoshiki, and the moment that Sasuke did cut his Sharingan off, Momoshiki shot off a vanishing Rasengan that hit Sasuke's vital points and knocked him to the ground. However, as he said in the anime when Sakura and Katasuke were checking over his body, a shinobi works with the cards that they're handed out, and this is no different. Sasuke's managed to carry out his duties as Shadow Hokage without any hesitation. It's commendable. When Code became a threat towards the village, Sasuke saw through Code's deception, and in only 24 hours was able to track down Code's location in the lane of snow that's 4 days travel away. But he managed to learn everything about the hideout itself, the names of the people inside who served Boro, what the function of that hideout was, and he was able to bring back the intel to Konoha in a timely manner, showing us some very strong Jiraiya vibes where you can still be respected as being strong. Your name can be feared, but you don't have to be the strongest in order to protect the village, because in a lot of ways, knowledge and intel are just as important, if not more important, than power itself. That being said, Code isn't his only problem, and he's being split very thin right now on top of being on thin ice. Naruto might not be willing to admit it, but Shikamaru has made it clear that Kawaki is a problem that is brewing, something that Ibiki agreed with, pretty much stating that they can't allow someone as powerful as Kawaki to run unchecked, and Shikamaru acknowledges that Kawaki's moody ass is only concerned with Naruto's well-being. That's a ticking time bomb waiting to go off. You can be sure Sasuke is on that same line of thinking as well, especially after hearing Kawaki killed his student despite it, while being the right thing to do, it was still something that was done after he disobeyed a direct order from the Hokage to stop, meaning there are some things that even Naruto can't reach Kawaki on. Sasuke isn't too far removed from being the Jiraiya to Naruto's Tsunade. Like Jiraiya, he was the one risking his life and dealing with multiple issues beneath the surface in order to aid, advise, and protect the Hokage. Both had surface level threats to deal with and had their ear to the streets in order to hear what the streets was saying when somebody was coming around the corner. However, for Jiraiya, Orochimaru was an immediate threat, but he also knew that the Akatsuki were making moves that had both short-term ramifications and long-term ramifications if they managed to pull off their plan to collect all the Biju. But he also warned Tsunade about Danzo basically planning a coup underneath her nose, and for her to watch herself when it came to those who are loyal to Root. For Sasuke, Code is a surface level immediate threat. Code is hunting Boruto to feed him to the Ten Tails. Unbeknownst to them, Code has a Ten Tails army that he can control, and they also can use his claw mark jutsu, which makes them equally dangerous. Code has a hit list of people that he wants to kill, and Sasuke is likely to deduce that someone who's aiming to kill this many high-level Konoha assets like Naruto, Sasuke, and Shikamaru won't just stop there, but will likely destroy the village itself, the very village that Sasuke is trying to protect. Sasuke knows the easiest way to take code out is to destroy the Ten Tails, but he doesn't know the Ten Tails is split up, and due to having the claw marks, it's technically more protected now than ever before, given how creatively Code can use the claw marks. If he can just teleport other Ten Tails to and from those markers, it stands to reason he can teleport himself through the markers, since the Kyuubi army has his chakra inside of it. Sasuke also has Kawaki as an issue, knowing that even for someone who is obsessed with Naruto, due to how fickle obsession is in its very nature, where you can be obsessed one day and then that obsession turns to madness and then you eventually turn on the person you're obsessed with, eventually Kawaki will need to be addressed. But for now, the only thing that they can do is appease him until a better solution to deal with them has been found, and just hope that Kawaki doesn't build Naruto up to a point to where Naruto can't live up to his expectations, which causes Kawaki to flip. If Shikamaru is distrusting of Amato, you can also believe that Sasuke is distrusting of him. In fact, it stands to reason that he is, because even someone as dim-witted as Naruto has admitted to not fully trusting Amato, but he's still a necessary evil right now. But the fact that Amato has quite a bit of leverage right now likely has raised Sasuke's eyebrows. Being reliant on Amato's word that Ada and Damon are allies is another red flag for our Shadow Hokage. One can control the hearts of people and make people her love slaves, and it's impossible to resist her to the point where if you do try to kill her, your brain will destroy itself. The other can reflect any and all attacks aimed at him, so long as there's someone in the area to make physical contact with before the attack launches. Two more cyborgs stronger than Jigen, and both in possession of Hack's abilities that make it impossible for him to fight him if they ever reveal themselves as being bad actors. With Ada, while she appears simple enough, wanting a relationship with Kawaki, the issue is that Kawaki himself is a issue to monitor, and now Kawaki would have another asset at his disposal if he ever decided to wake up one day and say he's done with Konoha. Yet at the same time, as Shikamaru stated, they have to rely on Ada if they ever want to find Code. For someone who protects the village from the shadows is another thing outside of his control. Now you have the issue of Momoshiki manifesting in Boruto. It was bad enough that while Momoshiki can't resurrect using Boruto's body, but he can still hijack the consciousness under the right circumstances. Now you have the issue of Sasuke still being able to sense when Momoshiki manifests, and he appears to be able to move when this occurs, despite no longer having the rinnegan, which he stated was the only reason he was able to do so before. Everyone else is frozen in time when this occurs, except for Sasuke and Kawaki, meaning the threat of Momoshiki is still a problem, and having Momoshiki manifest in the presence of Kawaki, the boy who killed Boruto when Momoshiki took over, that's going to be another issue to keep your eyes on. Between the threat that Code poses and the other things outside of Sasuke's control and the unknown, and now the specter of Momoshiki is still being a thing that has to be watched, Sasuke as Shadow Hokage has way too many fires to attend to. Some are burning faster than others, and despite being weaker, he has to attend to them himself. If he trails Team Sarada to watch things from afar, he leaves the village potentially with less help in order to defend against Code. If that mission with Sarada is something that is off Konoha base, or if it's just outside of Konoha, if he speaks to Boruto about what happened, he now tips off Momoshiki that he knows what's going on, which means he may have to wait for Boruto to bring the information to him instead of going directly towards him. If he goes looking for Code, who for right now is in another dimension, eventually barking up that tree is going to have that tree fall on him. If Sasuke goes out one day in the future staring down Ten Tails soldiers, that's going to be a pretty amazing death if it's done right. I would love to see a panel like what you had in the Dragon Ball Super manga, which runs in the same magazine as Boruto, where you have this beautifully drawn panel where you got Goku and Vegeta staring down the different Zamasu clones, and you have them shouting before they go into battle. I'd love to see something like that with Sasuke, where you got Sasuke staring down the Ten Tails clones, you got Sasuke closing his eyes, and then in the next panel opening up with this Sharingan, and you see the chakra flowing around him because it's building up towards the next page where he just has Susanoo activated. That'd be completely cool to see. If he ends up being killed by Damon and Kawaki, you'll be getting a lot of heat for those characters, but there's gonna be no payoff to it. If Momoshiki is right about Boruto giving up control to him, and Momoshiki then turns around and kills Sasuke, that has potential to be heartbreaking and make Boruto a more relatable character, but it also has the potential to do the opposite, which is do what the rinnegan destruction did, which is make people hate Boruto as a character despite the fact it wasn't actually Boruto's fault.
Word of my mother, I won't smack this nigga right here. Say I won't smack this nigga. Ooh, nigga.
I'm curious to know what you guys think about these death flags for Sasuke. Is it a red herring? Is it long-term booking? And which of these three scenarios do you think is the best way to kill him off? What Konoha shinobi past and present do you think could have handled these circumstances that Sasuke is currently having to face? While you think that over, click here to watch my Otsutsuki clan video, or click here to watch my Black Clover chapter 338 review.